Hello, powerful one. Welcome to this edition of Inner Growth with Osezuah, Elimihe. The human being is a being as it is. It's on a journey of becoming. Actually, some have said has no ending because what we are is infinite. We can never fully explore it. Some have also said that the journey does not begin on this planet and does not end on this planet. It goes far beyond many realms of existence. That our life is a sweet roller coaster of excitement, and that we must plug into that vortex of excitement for us to be a part of that full journey. Now, when we are on this earth, we are here to take some trainings to be able to pass the test that qualifies us for the higher and the full journey of our being. For instance, we have said before now that joy is the character of the human being, and joy is like the fuel. Joy, or you call it happiness, or you call it bliss, is the fuel that actually takes us on this journey. Because joy is the prerequisite of growth, it is the prerequisite for expansion, and expansion is actually the journey. We keep expanding. What does that mean that we keep expanding? It simply means that we keep coming into contact with newer and newer aspects of our being. And each contact is exhilarating. Each movement away from that contact fills us with higher expectations and a sense of aboutness. That sense of aboutness, say, I am about to hit something really big, is what makes our life. So if you are not having that positive sense of aboutness, I'm about to hit something really big, I am on the path, I am on the right track. If you don't have that feeling, then you have not begun to live. And if you have not begun to live because you don't have that feeling, you will not be able to hit that exhilaration that is euphoric, and that spreads all over your being and even affects your environment. You keep pushing. The higher you go, the more excited you become. That is the life that you are. But the mistake we make is that at the beginning, we have certain highs that are available at different levels of our experiences of life. For instance, we have the bodily highs, which comes by ways of drive. You have this drive when you have a desire for something. You have a drive to get that thing. Just picture any item of pleasure. You see that your drive for that pleasure is high because you have a memory that says that thing is good for you, that thing is special and you should have it, and that you having it is a good, is a positive, is a pleasure. And then you push for that thing. At the time you are pushing for that thing, you are inert to pain. You don't care about what pains come your way when you are pushing for it. And when you get it, you get a super high and you are excited. But you see, because they are material things, because they are lower than the real things of your being, they soon fade out and they leave you empty. Now, the temptation for us is to go back to that same thing or something that resembles it to get a new high. But that is not it. That is where our cyclicality of being becomes the problem. We become cyclical instead of us growing and trajectory, going up and up and broader. We keep running in cycles. Keep running in cycles that are not expanding. Just a single cycle of attrition. This is where the problem of material intoxication comes into being. This is why people become stunted at the level where that drive belongs. Most of the times, the drive that knock us down are the drives of this physical body. The drives for food, the drive for great cars, the drive for sex, and all of that. Now, those who are able to knock these physical, material, bodily drives, they cross the animal range, they cross the bodily range, they get to the mental range. And there, achievement of higher things, achievement of control becomes the deal. And at this point, there is a catch here. The control that you should be getting, that will help you, that will make you expand beyond the mental sphere, is the control of self, is the control of your emotions, the control of your thoughts, the control of your feelings. When that is the control that you get, you expand. you get to the next phase, and then the next phase, and you cross beyond the region of the mind, and you get to the spirit level, which is the level of your soul. And when you get there, you discover who you truly are as a human being, and then from then on, euphoria, bliss become your nature, and you keep spreading and expanding on and on. You have passed the test when you cross the level of the mind, because the goal of growth is self-control. Remember that advert from that tire that came up with one pay-off line which says, power is nothing without control. That is it. So the human power is immense, and you are not exposed, we are not exposed to that immensity until we have developed self-control. Now, when I talk about the catch that is present in the mental space, is the catch of controlling others. When the sense of control which is present at the mental level hits you as the need to control other people, then you are stuck. You repeat the cycle that the people who are on the gross material realm, which is this body, find themselves in. You keep going around in cycles. And then what you then do is that you look down towards those who are in the physical, gross material realm, who are settling in that realm. You begin to control them. You know what that means? You see what happens in the political space, right? Good. So that control becomes endemic. So you get your highs when you make them do things the way you want. This is where people now begin to harvest energies from those who are lower and weaker than they are. The same way, the guy who is stuck in the gross material level of this physical body gets pleasure and high energy highs from harvesting the energies of material things. Some of them are stuck on food, they call themselves whatever, they become food enthusiasts. Food becomes the kick for their lives. Some who are fortunate can decide to convert that love for food to service to others. And within that, there is a crack where they can break out of the cycle and grow into something else. But if they can't notice the crack, they can't use it. That is it. So when you can convert your blockade to service to others in a selfless manner, then you have the opportunity to break out of it. That is what it's all about. Now, those who are in the gross material bodily level, what do? They harvest energy in forms of food. Those others harvest in forms of intimacy with other people. They begin to select, they begin to move from one bodily form to the other. All of that, they begin to experiment just because they want highs. Others are stuck on drugs. Others are stuck on so many things you know about. But at the end of the day, it is not a happy experience, because being stuck is not a good thing. Some people are stuck for the entirety of their days on earth. And wow. And there is no way you can convince them otherwise. Because for them, why will you work? Why will you struggle in life like this and not have fun with food? Eat good food. Live in a good house. Drive good cars. Have good, partners. How can I just be eating one kind of food every day when I have a wife at home? Yes, I know that, but I can explore other women. I can explore other women. I can explore other men. It's all kinds of things. Some people even take it beyond and start exploring other partners, other kinds of partners. I don't want to go into all of those things. You know what I mean. They go out of the bounds that we know as natural bounds. They go into the extraneous. Well, we have a lot to deal with here. Now, this is it. In this human journey of attainment, of expansion, there are two pulls that drive our lives. Two pulls. We have the pull called eros, which is pleasure, right? Life generally itself, the definition of life itself is pleasure. If there is no pleasure, there is no life. There is the pool of pleasure, and then the second pool is the pool of death, which is thanatos. Okay, these two pools, we see them on the outward as two distinctive, separate, opposing pools. But when you look at it very closely, when you take the pool of pleasure to the limits, to the limit of your cycle, let's assume you were stuck in the body, and you take the pool of this physicality to its extreme, you will end on the other side, which is thanatos, which is death. That is why the wise always advocate moderation. If you follow the material pleasure to the extreme, you end up on the other side, which is thanatos, which is death, the pool of death. Now, if you were to take the pool of death, which is Thanatos, to its very end, you actually die physically. And then when you die, you realize that there is really no problem. You have a chance to reset the button and start all over again. But where you start from is not mine to determine. It is a product of how you have lived your life so far. So if you have been restricted around the animal realm, where some people say that you will come back as an animal and start all over again to grow from there to attain humanity, I don't know that. And you see, so this pool of life, which is Eros and Thanatos, they come this way. It's a curve. You don't see where they merge. You just see their jutting side, the side that are visible, just the way you see the iceberg. You see it to this point, you see it to this point. This is death, this is life, this is Eros, this is Thanatos. But at the end of the day, the power of the human being is to be able to overcome the pools by being in the middle. Death is not to be feared. Pleasure is not something you should enslave yourself to. They are supposed to serve your purpose, not for you to get attached to. So the pool of pleasure have landed people on the side of death when they take it too far. Those who take the pool of pains too far might hit the rock bottom and then they wake up. They may not die physically. That moment might be the moment that might be the turning point of their lives, and they wake up into the reality of things and they know what they should be doing. Well, we are going to say more of this when we come back from this break. I am Osezuah Anthony Elimihe. Do you know me? I am in the game of helping you grow from inside out. That is the drill. Welcome back. So at the end of the day, it is very important for you to know on the scale of existence where you are right now. You see, one of the reasons we are not able to discover who we are is the element of shame, which also rhymes in fear. We are ashamed to admit to ourselves the level of life we are right now. Can you really just put aside the shame? You are talking to yourself. If you are real to yourself, there is no problem you cannot solve. Whatever problem you are going through right now, if you become real to yourself, you will solve it easily. Just speak the truth to yourself and walk from there. You see, the idea of denial is what locks us in the cycle of negativity. When will we put an end to denial and accept things as they are for now, and then within that acceptance, resolve to change the things, then life begins to move on the upward swing. But the first thing is that credibility, that acceptance that, okay, I am here right now. I have nobody to blame for it. It is me who made the choices. I am here right now. I am grateful that this is where I am. It could have been worse. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So what next? What may I now do? What decisions do I now take to move beyond here? Because I have resolved to move out of here. You see, because you accepted that you brought yourself there, it gives you the power to also take yourself out of there. But when you do not accept that you brought yourself there, you don't have the power to take yourself out. You will have to wait for others to take you out, and there is nobody coming to take you out, not even God. You are the king of your kingdom. You are the God of your universe. You make the decisions. God is watching you to make the decisions. So you decide to move. Therefore, this is why we say, don't blame, don't complain. Take the responsibility. Now, this is not you badgering yourself and saying, I am an evil person. No, that's not the idea. This is not the idea of saying, I am a sinner, I have erred. That is not the idea. That is the religious idea. That is the religious wrong of the matter. It never grows anything. Instead, it destroys, it disintegrates. Taking responsibility is not self-accusation. When you make yourself a sinner, what it means is that you have no power to take yourself out of that place, because a sinner is guilty and subject to judgment. That's not what you are looking for. That's not what you should be. You are not a sinner, neither are you calling yourself a saint. What simply you are saying is you are a decider. You are an observer of your space. Your active agents in your human system took decisions that you approved of, or you did not change them. Therefore, right now, you have chosen a better side. You have made a better decision, and which is to say, henceforth, you take responsibility for what has happened that brought you where you are right now, and going forward, you want to now begin to direct how things should go. It is a choice that can never be broken. When you take it, it's as good as that. So where are you right now? Are you settling at the gross material space where material pleasures are what drive you? It's not a good place to be. You will never get satisfaction. You need to move up. The next one, are you at the mental space? Again, it's a good place, but it's not the right place to be. It's not close to your humanity. Don't circle there. Move beyond it. All right? And then if you are able to cross the mental space, boom, you are home. You are almost home. You are now at your soul level, and then I'm not speaking to you. I'm not even qualified to speak to you, because you have all knowledge, and all knowledge is taking you higher into the ultimate. You have just begun the journey of the human reality. Congratulations. But I know you are not listening to this video, so I'm not talking to you. Right? So that's what we're talking about. If you will note where you are and then resolve, don't ask me how do I get out. It's not my duty to tell you. There is a way I can tell you. These are experimental ways, but your way might be different from my way. But open up. That's it. I'm simply telling you that there is an intelligence. There is a benevolent intelligence that is ever open to you, that is ever listening to you. Make a decision, and we see that intelligence putting things in place to take you to where you have to be. It's as simple as that. This is why your life is magical. Don't disappoint. Hold on to it. Have this belief in the magicality of your life, that all things are possible once you resolve to achieve them without a single doubt. Thank you.